Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Masks Monday, and welcome back to Steve as well. Thank you so much for coming back, and I hope you're doing okay. Ronnie is coming, however, he's got some technical issues, and he's going to be eased in later anyway, given he hasn't actually got a working character at the moment. But he will have by the time he gets in. Wait, that sounds like he hasn't made it yet, which is, no, he has made it. But anyway, let us go round the pre-existing characters, the ones who are still alive for now. Shall we start off with Mr. Astor?
Astor, Canadian explorer, managed to survive the last couple of episodes. Not quite sure how, because it was quite low on hit points, but he's got through. Unfortunately, it was his friend that died. So let's see if we can avenge Winston.
Yes. And Françoise?
Hello, my name is Françoise Pelletier. I am not here for vengeance. I am here to do the damn mission. I seem to be the only ones that can follow the mission. I don't know what is wrong with my co-conspirators here, but they are useless.
As always. And Pranit?
Yes, my name is Pranit Singh Dillon. I am a former soldier in the British Army, and I told all our viewers and listeners last time that I was planning to achieve the ultimate status of the biggest imbecile of the party. But in the last very sad session, unfortunately, was Winston, the biggest imbecile. Unfortunately, he left our world to reach his favorite deity, as we can say. So he actually doesn't have to pray bust, and that's another thing that we need to pan out. Mm-hmm. I'm also in charge of doing the recap of last session. Please, Jason, interrupt me if you want to reestablish the scene, like you said.
No. You go ahead first, and then we'll double check sanity and stuff, and then we can do that.
All right. Well, so basically, we decided that now it's time to finally add to the Pyramid of Giza. But Omar al-Shakti actually didn't want us to go, so invites us to dinner. Apparently, we followed what Françoise believed was the best course, so we ditched his ass and rescheduled the dinner for a week later. Actually, we didn't feel too much comfortable going out there, just the four of us, not knowing anything about, pardon my pronunciation, hieroglyphs. Is that the correct pronunciation? I hope. So we bring Van Ubelen with us. We were also chatting and discussing whether to change hotel, because we were a little bit scared that Al-Shakti actually knows where we are, but we decided at the end not to. And then we buy some supplies, some more dynamite, and then straight to the Giza Plateau. Actually, there is some people occasionally, but it's not that busy. So we park our car as it is reasonable to the temple. After that, we just look around to find an entrance to where the mummy was found, starting from the temple. I remember Françoise being utterly disappointed to find ruins and not an actual temple, but that's how things are in the desert, actually. What we found, though, at the temple is a small hall, something like a shaft, going along one of the walls with the green sticky slime covering the walls. We don't know what that slime is. Even Perry couldn't shed a light on that. So, as an imbecile that I am, I decide to tie a rope around my waist and go down to see if the shaft leads somewhere. Apparently, we don't have enough rope for me to see everything, because it is pitch dark and I haven't reached the bottom with 20 meters of rope. So there's a no-no for us. That's when my buddies waiting outside here to two cars approaching. Françoise, being, of course, the best leader that we could have desired or wanted, decided to walk to these people. And apparently there are a couple of armed ones and another couple of people that take out some people that are probably unconscious. For sure, they are something like handcuffed. I mean, they're bound, so they're not free to move around. And she actually finds out that the way in is behind a stele between the paws of the Sphinx that, after a little bit of mumbo jumbo, lights up and then teleports people inside. That's when the sad things start to happen. That's because, of course, these armed guards hear us doing nonsense and try to hide at the best of our possibilities. Of course, there is a little bit of strife, gunshots, etc. And that's when our beloved archaeologist loses his life. Even though we managed to overcome these two armed guards, there is nothing we can do for Winston because he was shot badly in the chest. Of course, we decide not to leave his body just rotting in the desert. So we try to put him in our car's trunk in order to send him back home with his personal belongings. That's when the two people that went inside the Sphinx actually come out, and we know the two fellas, one being Winfield and the other one being Hakim. Hakim, apparently, that as far as we're concerned, only saw me at the Cairo bulletin when I tried to stop them from arting. I don't remember his name. I mean, the journalist that we have contact with.
Nigel, yeah, thank you.
Hakim says, "Françoise, I'm pleased to meet you again." So, what the hell? Again, when did you see her for the first time? And Françoise, being, of course, the quiet person she is, tries to shoot Hakim right in the forehead. But actually, that doesn't kill him somehow. We don't know. But not being a complete imbecile, I shot him back, and I managed to kill Hakim. We were left last session with this big cliffhanger because the fellow Hakim, being dead on the ground, started shape-shifting and turning actually into Shafik, our best friend in London. So what the hell is going on? We don't know. What are we going to do? Winfield is scared shitless, actually stands down, and now it is at our mercy. So we need to come up with a plan on trying to get into said Sphinx. Because if we know somebody that was keen on magic and rituals, that was Shafik. But now that she's dead, we need to hope that Winfield knows the ritual to get in there, because otherwise we lost the key to get into.
You had to bloody kill him, didn't you?
Shut up.
Give yourself a D8 of luck, Mr. Dillon.
Was my actually pronunciation that bad that you had to write it in the private chat, Jason?
No, that's
when you do your recaps, we all just switch on.
No, that's a meme. I don't know if you've seen that, the way it's spelled. It's a meme. It's not your pronunciation.
No, I do know. I'm sorry. That's 5 luck, though.
5 luck, which puts you on the rather large quantity of 12.
11.
11. Oh my god, even worse.
Yeah, I was at 6.
Oh dear. Okay. So From the top then, so Françoise, you are still on 87 sanity and 3 luck.
Let me have a look. I have
What?
87 sanity and 3 luck.
Yes. And you're still on 8 hit points, but of course you're healing a day now. Perry, you are on 74 sanity and 35 luck.
I've got Dennis 30 luck.
30.
I spent some to make some rolls last time.
Regrettably, my player is a bit of an imbecile because my player has realized that I am skilled in chemistry and therefore could possibly understand what is in the hole.
Yeah, potentially. But yes, you do have chemistry. And Pranit, you're on 61 sanity.
Yes, indeed.
And you're now on 11 luck. And Mystery Person is hopefully on full
On its
health,
way.
etc. Yes. And on his way. Yes, so in terms of what's going on then, because we're kind of starting in media res, Françoise, if you remember as well, she was, shall we say, compelled to run away given she saw something that was brought on her by Shafik. However, she has pretty much kind of snapped out of it. But what I'll say is that you're kind of just outside the entranceway of Giza, so you're a little bit away, given you literally tried to sprint away as much as possible. But you can
Bloody
kind
hell!
of see
When
everything
I'm
else.
acting of my own accord, I never seem to move this quickly.
Yeah, you moved incredibly quick. The adrenaline took you over, I think. Pranit, of course, you're kind of. I mean, you've been seen now because you pretty much shot Shafik straight in the chest with your rifle. And Perry, yeah, you're kind of seen as well. However, I believe you did say that you kind of start to try and overpower Winfield, and he did choose to stand down. I wouldn't say he's scared shitless, but he did choose to stand down. He did have a gun on him, just to remind you. So presumably you've taken that off him, have you?
Yeah, I'll take that away and tuck it into my bowel.
Okay. So I don't know if you're doing anything with him, but he's sort of looking around at the minute, maybe hoping that someone who was looking for you previously is going to come and sort of stop you, but obviously that's not really going to happen.
He might not.
Well, actually, I'll try. Actually, I'll try and tie his hands behind his back and take his gun, since we have the rope.
Okay.
Should I take one of the cars and go look for Françoise?
I mean, I don't know how far she got.
I mean, you can actually, given it's a waxing gibbous and given it's sort of flat, you can probably see just about. You can kind of see this outline, sort of wandering slightly, like left and right, a good sort of couple of stone throws away.
Okay, I'll go over to Françoise while Pranit is tying up Winfield and bring her back. Make sure she's all right. Give her a drink of water.
Honestly, so where's this cultist get inside your head? What the fuck is Shafik doing here?
No idea. If she's here though, Gaviscan might be.
Gaviscan.
Do you have an upset stomach? I see your point now. Yes, okay. So this is a problem. Does this man know how to get you? Do you know how to get into the pyramids with the temple between the Sphinx's legs?
You mean the holy stele? Of course I bloody don't. That is reserved for the highest rank there is. And even
this
then,
woman is not even in the Egyptian cult, and yet she could get in. So what is your problem?
she is more magically affiliated than me, I suppose. She learnt it by ear from our head priest.
So, who are the people that know how to get through this magical portal?
He's sort of, given he's like tied up and obviously he's a bit kind of overpowered, he sort of looks at it, looks at the steel, almost as if he's maybe trying to either work it out or maybe try and remember. You see as well, Van Hoevelen is kind of curious, and he's like, come on, Winfield, it's only hieroglyphs. What's the problem? Here, come on, let me show you. And he sort of waddles on over, and he kind of puts his gun away, starts sort of deciphering.
It might be that we don't need our prisoner at all.
But in the meantime, who is your high priest?
I believe you at least have attempted to make his acquaintance.
How could you not know this, Perry?
I'm just making sure it's not something we don't know.
And listen to your lady friend.
I think I know
She's
who it is,
smart.
but I just want to make sure who it is, because otherwise we could have gone the wrong direction.
I don't believe, Mr. Winfield, this is the right time to act so smug.
I'm just trying to make light of the situation. You've just shot a high priestess. I imagine terrible things will happen to you soon enough.
It is not the first time we screwed her over. But it does look like it will be the last.
Yeah, she can't be that good. It wasn't that hard to kill her.
I mean, frankly, of all the times we have come into conflict with Shafik, I am surprised she lasted this long. We have never been defeated by her. She is so useless. How you even put her in a position of authority in your cult? It amazes me. Do you not have more competent people?
He just sort of blows a bit of his disheveled blonde hair out of his face at that and doesn't really comment.
Honestly, I find the incompetence staggering.
The thing is, Mr. Winfield, that you were trying to lighten up the situation, but now you're in pitch darkness because all your colleagues went to meet your deity, whatever you want to call him or it. So if I were you, I'd start to think of a way to remember the ritual to get in there, because otherwise you will soon follow them.
I am desperately trying, I assure you.
Try harder then.
And yeah, you kind of see Van Hoevelen is sort of still deciphering. He's like, yeah, it's interesting. It's there's a bit of, and he kind of walks around it as well. There's a bit of writing that seems to fit as you walk around, like a word or two on each side. Let's see. Mighty is the god whose breath brings death and whose form... Whoa. What the hell are you... What have you got yourself into, Winfield? Brings madness? What? He just sort of shrugs his shoulders and says, it suits my personality.
So do you think you can open it or not?
Make me psychology rolls.
All of us.
Yeah, you can do. I presume at this point Françoise has kind of returned.
I think so.
I
I've
fail.
been interacting, so I assume so. I'm not just stood in the desert talking to myself.
66, which is a fail. I think this is a fail.
I mean, I got the base 10, so I couldn't expect much. But I failed nonetheless.
Regrettably, my 10th die began with a 9. The odds of me turning this into a success are remote.
Okay. Okay. So you think he's sort of going around the other side, maybe to read it. You think there's maybe more to this than just simply reading what Van Hoevelen read. Maybe it's in Egyptian, or maybe it's something else. But in any case, you see him kind of go round, and then you see Van Hoevelen kind of go. And then suddenly you hear a bit of a, like, they're kind of moving around the other side. You can sort of see it's not like huge, this thing, in terms of width. But you think that maybe he had like a knife or something kind of tucked away, but Winfield has somehow managed to cut his rope, and he's managed to grab Van Hoevelen's gun, and now kind of drags him round with him kind of in a bit of a bear hug with his neck, like this, holding his gun in his head. Put them down.
Shoot him.
Put down your guns.
I will have more rifle at him.
You can shoot him. We do not care.
We're not putting our guns down. You'll just shoot us then. That's ridiculous.
You really did not think this through.
Of course, you need him more than we do.
Van Hoevelen's just looking at you like, what the fuck?
Well, actually, you need Van Hoevelen more than we do, because if you kill him, we kill you. You know that.
It is another one of these very foolishly undertaken plots by this cult. They really are stupid. How is it taking us so long to take them down? I'm ashamed of myself.
Well, thank God you're not the high priestess, Françoise, otherwise we would be screwed.
Perry, make me a power roll.
A power roll. 65. That's a fail.
How much is your power roll overall?
65.
Okay. Just for a brief second, you kind of feel almost like kind of a headache coming on, and then it disappears. But you then start hearing Winfield kind of talk. You're not sure in what language it is, but it's some kind of old language, and the steel kind of starts to glow again.
Let's move closer.
He's not stopping you.
Good boy, you're doing what we asked.
I am surprised that you don't want to be one of us, miss. You seem like prime retail.
I am far too competent. Perhaps if I was less intelligent, I would be a good fit for your little cult.
No, let him.
Sorry?
He kind of gestures with his gun a little. Are you going to go in then?
What, do we have to walk in?
Are you going
How else do you get there? Flying?
Are you going to let Van Hoevelen go?
I can do with him what I want.
No. I
No,
never
you
said
don't.
to do that.
Well, take him from me then. And he holds
Okay.
out the gun.
Who's he pointing the gun at?
He's kind of drifting between the three of you. He's mostly keeping it on the two with the rifles.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well...
How much
I'll
of
pull
his
out my-
face I can see behind Van Hoevelen?
How much of his face? Oh gosh, now you're telling me. Height-wise, his face is quite slim compared to Van Hoevelen, so maybe half of it.
I mean, we need Van Hoevelen, so I'm not trying to shoot Winfield because I don't know how that may end up.
Thing is, you may find this one a little useless, but without me, you won't be able to get out of there.
We have a few surprises up our sleeve.
Not that kind of surprise, though, mate.
I'm simply going to walk up to Winfield,
Mhm.
grab hold of his arm,
Which one?
Winfield.
Yeah,
grab
but
hold
which
of his
arm?
or
Which
his
arm?
coat. It kind of doesn't matter. I'm just going to grab hold of his clothing and
Okay.
then yank him toward the light with me.
Okay.
At what point does he try to interfere with my plan?
Okay. Maybe a brawl roll anyway, because he's obviously going to react to you pulling on him.
Just looking for brawl because I don't think. Oh, right, base 25. Oh, wow. I am going to spend my last 3 luck.
Okay.
Extreme.
Okay.
I was not expecting that.
No.
Either was I. I only got base chance.
Not a single ounce of me was expecting that.
Well, okay. Let me just double check because I know I know with clubs it's a little bit different from say an impale, but I can't remember if you do it the same way with unarmed or not. Let me see.
I mean, she's just pulling, depending on the grade of success.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. Okay. Ignore that then. In that case, yeah, you kind of grab him, no problem. Like maybe he was so cocky he wasn't expecting that, and you pull him through with you through the steel, which it's not stone anymore. It's like this weird sort of slightly wobbly film sort of thing you pull through. Just for a brief instance, there's this sort of blind light, and then you're in maybe darkness, maybe very low light. It takes a couple of minutes. Well, not a couple of minutes, sorry, a couple of seconds just to kind of adjust to such an extremity of light changing. He does kind of pull Van Hoevelen in with him, though. He keeps a hold on him. What do the other two of you do?
I mean, if I got in after they did, what I'm thinking is try to knock his head with my rifle on the back of his head to make him pass out and set Van Hoevelen free.
I mean, are you planning to go in first? Because you wouldn't have a chance to do that before Françoise pulls him in.
No, I said if I went beyond the steel after,
right. Okay,
then I am behind him. If so, I'll try to hit him with my rifle at the back of his head.
Okay, Perry, what are you doing?
I'm gonna follow him.
Okay, cool. So you're going to follow. Again, you kind of get this blind flashing of light just for a brief second, and then you're kind of having to blink a few times to adjust the darkness. Pranit, you can roll, but it's going to be a penalty given, again, the low light, and you're a little bit blinded at the minute.
All right, I'm rolling on brawl.
It'll be brawl, yeah.
All right. Well, it can be a 2 or a 22.
I think it's going to be a 22.
That's not pass then.
He's not expecting that, so he's not even going to even try and dodge. Hard pass, did you say?
Hard pass, yes.
Oh, it's a hard. Okay. All right, roll your damage.
What damage? The unarmed one or what?
It would be kind of like the same as a blackjack, which I believe is a D8. Blackjack. 1d8 plus your damage bonus.
All right. All right. It's 12.
It's a 12. Ooh. Okay, that is definitely a major wound. So yeah, basically you hit him just on the kind of the cusp of where his skull meets his neck in that kind of fleshy bit. And you actually hear the sound of something crack. And he just kind of buckles straight away to the floor, almost pulling Van Hoevelen with him, and he kind of almost comically falls over.
All right.
Does he fire the gun, though? That's the question.
Killed him.
Well, maybe not. You don't know yet. But he certainly falls over. Okay. The gun does go off. So,
Duck.
does he hit Van Hoevelen or not? Oh, I'll say yes, he does. That's another
Oh,
fail.
for fuck's sake.
But it may be just like a clip. So, let's see. Okay. Oh, okay. What is his health? Yeah, clips the side of his head off. Yeah, we'll see. Van Hoevelen, where are you? You are here. Okay. So the bullet does kind of drive up the side of Van Hoevelen's face, and there's this sort of bloody mess where his ear used to be. It doesn't completely penetrate, like the bullet doesn't completely penetrate inside his head, but he also kind of topples to the floor. Just so you know, mechanic-wise, both of them have got major wounds. You think maybe Winfield is still alive, potentially, but he's not getting up anytime soon. He's blatantly been severely concussed. Van Hoevelen is moaning, like almost kind of screaming in pain from this.
Well, I'm going to check if Winfield is dead, and then try to stabilize him if it's not.
Okay. You kind of have a good look at him. He's definitely not really moving, but you can just kind of, if you put your hand like this to his mouth, you can feel this sort of trying to breathe.
I'll do the same for Van Hoevelen.
Okay. All right, give me some first aid rolls.
You're an artist now. I believe it is fashionable for Dutch to cut us in.
That's really not funny.
I'm spending 1 luck to make it an extreme on Winfield.
Okay. Lovely.
I unfortunately have no luck to turn that into a pass.
Okay. Well, he's still conscious. He's not dying at this point, but he's kind of got a bit of blood and stuff. I guess you kind of just slap a bit of cloth on him or something and just say, "Oh, this."
Stop complaining.
Winfield is stabilized. However, it will still take him a bit of time to come round.
Yeah, I don't care. I'll just
right,
up
just
him
saying.
on my shoulder. No, I mean, the important thing is that he is awake when we need to get out.
Okay.
Until then, I can carry him on my shoulder.
That's what I thought. You also noticed, as well as the sort of riding crop, he did have a knife, which is kind of sheathed in this sort of little leg sheath thing. Whether you want to take that or not.
Yeah, of course. How do you say that? Pat him to see if he has other weapons on him beside the knife and the gun that we already took, and take everything away from him.
Just this riding crop, which definitely appears to be more for kind of torturing rather than killing. But in terms of where you are now that you kind of come to sort of see, the light is very low. It's not 100% dark. Essentially, you think you're at the edge of a really massive room of sorts, so much that you can't really see the walls opposite you. It's so big. You're at the base of a kind of, it's like a long railingless bridge or like a pathway made of this strange green, almost kind of weeping effect of stone that sort of it looks like almost like it's dripping. The stele is still behind you, although it's dull. It's not really glowing at all. There does appear to be sort of space around you in the immediate vicinity, so you're not kind of cramped in or anything. Really quite the opposite of, say, going into an Egyptian tomb. You can see just about this sort of like quite a lot of pillars to your sort of left, top left.
Now, just shine a torch around, see how big this is, see if there is a huge drop off of this bridge.
Okay. So you step onto this bridge and you shine your torchlight around. First thing you notice is, you're off the ground by quite a long way. You think maybe 30, 40 feet. There's enough room to stand, although obviously if somebody knocks you off, that could be a different matter. There are plenty of really big pillars. You can just see the wall to your right, which is about, again, another sort of 30 feet across from you. And at the back of the room, there's this darkness, complete darkness. And your torch just can't focus on anything there at all. The other way is the majority of this room or tomb or whatever. Again, more pillars. There's a few things in this room, although it's difficult, again, because of the distance, just to see exactly what they are. There's some sort of large, either a hole or maybe like some water, maybe. Pretty much in the center of this room on the floor. But again, it's big. It's like a good sort of 20 feet or so, you think, wide. There's sort of more stuff further on that you can't quite see. But you also notice that there are these gibbets hanging from the ceiling, maybe sort of 20 of them, all kind of in rows. To which I'm going to bring in our new character. So what I'll say is that, Ronnie, your character is in one of these gibbets, and you heard the sound of Van Hoevelen screaming, essentially, this piercing that kind of manages to finally rouse you from your very drunken stupor. You're quite far away from anything that's going on, and all you can see is this sort of small but very intense bright light coming from something shining around. More screamings going on. It's all really peculiar and strange, and then you suddenly realize that you're quite far off the ground in one of these very tightly condensed cages. But can you describe, Ronnie, what your character looks like and who he is?
Yes, I am Charles Barrington Smythe. I am 25 years old. I've got slicked back dark hair, or it's usually slicked back. It's not going to be slicked back just now. Slim, but quite athletic build. Well toned and muscled. Just the advantages of good breeding, you know.
Let's leave him out there.
I did wonder when that would come.
I put a stopwatch on it.
How can you be on the wrong side of Françoise already?
Sheer talent.
So I'll say, Perry, that you can't quite see all of those features that I described, but you can definitely see in some of the gibbets they are occupied. One appears to be this sort of white guy who looks quite worse for wear. He's sort of beaten up a bit, disheveled hair and so on. The other two you think might be Broadmoor and Gardner from the sort of general build of them. But again, it's difficult to see given how high up they are.
Hello? I see. What ho? Hello?
You appear to be in some form of gibbet, a medieval torture device.
Yes, it's a little tight.
I imagine so.
I don't suppose you could be a dear and let me out.
Can we track any chains or ropes with the door?
These?
Yeah, it's fairly easy to see because again, these pillars are huge. All the gibbets appear to have sort of like it's kind of like a crude pulley system, so you could fairly easily get any of them down. Although, given that they could be quite heavy, you might need to give me a strength roll just to ensure that you don't accidentally drop anybody.
How about we use 2 people on the chains at once? We'll have Pranit and Perry.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
I drop Winfield on the ground carefully.
Okay, I'll say
And
that
then
you kind of
aid Perry.
get to the end of the bridge to do this because the bridge is, again, there's no railings at all, weirdly.
Is this stone slippery as well?
No,
Okay.
it's more just it kind of aesthetically looks that way, and you're kind of a bit wary even to start with. But there are these sort of steps, at the end, very black. These steps, like black stone, almost like obsidian. You think, but there is a way down, so you do manage to kind of get to the sort of solid ground on the floor. So yeah, maybe you drop in there, something like that.
Why don't we release Smythe other and stick this guy in the thing and winch him back up? We'll keep him for later.
Okay. So who was it who was helping you? Was it Pranit?
Yes.
Okay. Give me a strength roll with a bonus die, Perry.
Strength roll with a bonus die. Single strength. Strength is 17. That is.
I'm stronger than you.
17, which is
Okay, yeah.
Extreme.
Yeah, that's fine. So yeah, you kind of gently ease this posh guy down from his viewpoint.
Oh, thank you.
How long have you been up there?
You don't really know, Charles, how long you've been up here.
Feels like forever. I don't suppose you have a. It's been very cold here. I don't suppose you have a little nip of whiskey or something, just to brandy or something, just to warm the cockles.
No, mate, I don't drink. I'm sorry.
The cockles are at the seaside, and you are not in a hotel bar.
No, not
Last thing I can remember was a hotel bar.
I've got some water you can have, but that's as far as it goes at the moment.
I suppose water will do for the moment.
If you want something warmer, there is blood.
Yes, indeed. And what I'll say is that, again, there's sort of a few different things in this room, but the thing that's probably closest to you, apart from the gibbets, is an altar. White marble, again, rather grandioso, sort of 25 feet long, etc. And there's this sort of, even some sort of steps to go up to it. And you can see on top a sarcophagus.
This would be a missing sarcophagus.
Very probably.
You're missing a sarcophagus? What sort of rescue party are you?
It's a bit late for this one, admittedly, but we are looking for it.
I was going to say, I would believe the incumbent might be a little too late for that particular incumbent. However, we do have people. There are other people in the gibbets, I can see.
When you have finished offering your professional opinion, I will now inform you that it is not too late for this person. This cult is attempting to raise them from the dead, and it is our mission to stop them. We are not here to rescue whoever the hell you are. You are inconsequential, collateral anti-damage.
I turn to whoever's closest between Pranit and Perry.
Don't worry, she's always like this.
I just say, she's
It's
feisty,
not
isn't
something
she?
you did or you said. She's always like this.
She's feisty. I like it.
Oh, fuck. Oh,
So your friends up
All
there.
right.
Who are your friends up there? Should we be getting them down as well, or?
Yeah, of course.
Yes,
I'll take them down.
I'm happy to assist. Happy to help in any way I can.
All right. So what's
Least
your
I can
name?
do for helping you. My name is Charles Barrington Smythe.
All right, Charles. So now you're going to help me take down the other two people, while maybe Perry and Françoise can go and check on the altar and the sarcophagus. How about it?
Can I
Yes,
just
yes,
ask?
no problem, sir. Yes, yes.
Can I just ask, Mr. Monsieur Charles Barrington Smythe, are you actually a lord?
Not yet.
Then pick a surname. You cannot have two.
I come from a long line of Barrington Smythes, I would have you know. My great-grandfather fought in Waterloo, you know.
You always talk this much?
Only when presented with a rather, well, yes, perhaps not the best time for charm. Yes, I will help you, my gallant friend, with bringing down these other cages.
By the way, my name is
I get
Pranit.
Pranit a hand.
Okay. Yeah, as you do that, you kind of hear more moaning coming from Van Hoevelen, who was, of course, patched up so well by Françoise. But yeah, give me a strength roll with a bonus die again, Pranit.
That's is that all right? Okay, that's a hard pass.
Okay. So you carefully
No,
lower.
no,
You think?
sorry, that's a regular pass.
Oh, well, it's fine. You're only regular. So you can carefully lower Broadmoor down. She's missing her hat, and you can kind of see that there's a sort of flat sort of hair because she obviously wears it all the time. She appears to be kind of coming out of unconsciousness, but she's not quite with it. And when you're kind of getting her out of her rope and stuff, she's sort of murmuring something, whether she's dreaming or not. But you hear her say something about darkness, illumination. You can give me a listen roll, either of you.
Right?
Actually, maybe not either of you, given Charles's listen.
That's a regular pass.
Okay. So she seems to be moaning more than anything, but it's almost like she's kind of reciting something, and she says, "That which bends can break the mind and reveal the truth. The white way leads to darkness, illumination, and temptation."
All right, I'll need you to write that down because I missed a good piece of it.
Okay, I will write it down in the chat.
Yes, mate.
That which bends can break the mind and reveal the truth.
The white way leads to darkness, illumination, and temptation.
Sounds like a lady I met in Chelsea one time.
And as you're kind of mulling over what she's talking about, you kind of hear as she kind of it just so quickly comes around. You just see her looking, and you think maybe she knows where she is, and she says, "No, it's too early. She's not ready. I can't get her spirits yet. Why am I here?" "Oh, it's you, Mr. Dillon. I was correct after all. What's going on?"
Miss Broadmoor, you're fine. I don't know under what circumstances, but you were brought here by our friend Winfield and Hakim.
Oh, and you kind of see her shake her head in almost disappointment. "I knew that they were too long gone already." But
how about you then? How gone are you? You were murmuring some gibberish about a white way.
Oh, it. I believe I have mentioned such things in seances before, but it's so hard to tell. My mind is separated from my body in such situations. But oh, and you kind of see her looking towards Françoise and Perry. The sarcophagus is she in there? Maybe.
Most likely, I imagine so.
We're going to go and investigate anyway, aren't we? So we're on our way over already.
But it's too early. I can't exercise the spirit yet.
I've got some stuff for the exercise the spirit.
What day is it today? What day?
It is not.
If I'm not mistaken, it's Saturday, the 7th of March.
Oh, far too early. It is not yet the new moon. I can't do it.
So
Damn.
I am confused now as to whether she is a cult or not.
It's not, of course.
I am not with Winfield or Dr. Clive. I am trying to stop them from resurrecting this monstrosity. And to do that, I must exercise her spirit. But I can only do that when the ritual begins.
Right, well, I have no concern about spirits. They can't do it at all if they do not have the mummy.
I turn to Pranit at this point and I say, sorry to say, old chap, but I appear to have walked into a murder mystery halfway through and I don't have a program.
Don't worry,
Could you help me slightly catch up here? Because what I'm hearing is distressing at best and downright scary at most.
You kind of hear as well, you think that maybe Van Hooveland's trying to shut Broadmoor up and say, "Oh, you stupid bag, give it a rest. Spirits. Look, are you wanting to get the mummy out or what? We shouldn't stay here for too long."
I agree. We need to, anyone else still alive, everyone else, we should be carrying this thing out and then setting fire to it and destroying it.
I think, wait, is that Gardner? I can't quite see.
We're taking him out
there's
too.
another one in here.
Okay. And yeah, you don't need to roll for this one because you've done it twice. So yeah, you slowly kind of getting down. It is indeed Gardner. He's again sort of coming around. Oh, what a pungent smell. Oh.
Yes, I do apologise. It's been some days since I bathed.
I don't think it's you. Just this lingering. Where on earth are we?
Well, I got a good news and a bad news for you, Mr. Gardner.
Oh,
The good news is that you found a secret passage under the pyramid. The bad news is that you were brought here against your will.
I suppose that's one way to discover what I've been working on. Oh, Elaine, what are you doing here?
Elaine is Broadmoor.
No.
Elaine.
Has Françoise forgotten?
Oh, right.
Oh, I remember giving the name Elaine, but I remember. However,
Yeah,
I think as far as Françoise is concerned, it's the least important piece of information.
Yes.
So she just blanks it.
There's an Elaine here as well.
Well, don't worry, you'll be up to speed in no time.
Oh my god. Is that who I think it is? And he's looking at the sarcophagus.
Of course it is.
Be careful with it. How intact is she?
We don't know yet. We've opened it.
She's not going to be intact for much longer.
I was about to put that in the chat.
Well, What are you talking about? We've got to take this and study her.
Are
Take
you
it to the
insane?
museum.
I'll reach into my jacket and pull out 2 sticks of dynamite and a length of fuse.
No.
No.
Well, I say,
Shut up,
those are
Carter.
bloody
You,
bright candles.
you are months and months of investigation behind what is going on here. You are clueless. Just shut up, you stupid man.
I'd like to ask Miss Broadmoor something, if I'm able to.
Yes, yeah, okay. So I guess Garner's sort of bickering and saying how important she is and how she's not been discovered. But yeah, go ahead.
I wanted to ask Miss Broadmoor or Mrs. I don't actually know if destroying the physical body of this restless soul will maybe nullify the ritual.
I am a spinster, dear, and I'm proud of it. I do not know. Her spirit is bound to this place. That I know for certain. Whether the body will stop the spirit is another matter. Wait.
Awesome.
So we may free the soul by destroying the body.
I don't know. It may be that it's just trapped here. But of course, that's why they were so keen to bring me here. I was quite surprised myself. I thought I would have to do the convincing. They
Well,
must
what
need
you
me to do that.
Well, if you realise,
That's why they put me in that gibbet, to keep me here until the time comes.
To do what?
And force me to bind the spirit to her body, and then with whatever other way it can be resurrected.
I think you are overrating your importance, but okay.
I'll have you know, young lady, I'm a prestigious medium back where I'm from.
I'll have you know that I'm actually qualified in a skill.
I am too, whether you believe it or not.
Don't worry, Miss Broadmoor, she's like this every time.
I'm
imagine
watching this verbal tennis
purity.
match with increasing incredulity. As I'm noticing Broadmoor's sort of soft serves and Françoise's aces coming back at her. 30, love.
I'm just checking something. Carry on.
What we need to make absolutely sure is that if we destroy the body, or we nullify the ritual altogether, or we are able to bind and bane maybe the soul that comes free out of it.
well, Harry's there, and he's got his 2 sticks of dynamite. He's putting fuses in and twisting the fuses together and say, well, if you destroy the body in the sarcophagus, it can't hurt, can it?
Well, it can if it is a vengeful soul.
Yes.
Who cares if the soul never gets an opportunity to commit revenge? It has been thousands of years already. What we have to do is disrupt its return, which is the next full moon. So, we destroy the body, that is one. But what if they use another body? Let's also destroy the place.
Young lady, if I was trapped for thousands of years, then I would very much want to unleash hell upon the first people I saw.
Exactly, but who cares about the first people, the second people, the third people? It does not matter. She cannot come back and do anything. So we destroy the mummy, but we also destroy the tablet that takes us here. We have 2 sticks of dynamite. That is sufficient. Yes, the way you may have been unconscious. It does not matter. It is the way to get to this place. I have no idea where this place is. I think it is under the pyramid.
You mean the stele in front of the Sphinx? They've only just unveiled that.
Yes, and it turns out that it is an artifact of the Black Pharaoh. Do you want to keep it around?
I beg your pardon? An artifact of the Black Pharaoh?
Well, yes.
There's no such thing. He's a
Oh,
myth.
don't be an imbecile. What do you think these cultists are trying to do? They're bringing him back.
And again, I'm not the biggest imbecile of the session.
But it's all a load of rubbish. Of course they believe that, but it's not real.
They do actual magic and they believe it. I
But
tell
there's
you
no
what
such
I
thing as
know.
magic.
I know they believe it. Oh, you read minds, darling. You go out of your body and deal with spirits. You think
This is Gardner, by the way.
Oh, God, no. So she reads minds with spirits. What is real, what is not?
Oh, well, I didn't really believe that either. Oh.
Well, it is
dear.
about time you got up to speed or shut the fuck up.
He almost sits down in defeat, but then realizes that Van Huvelen is still struggling, so he kind of goes to help.
Stop him from moaning.
I don't really know any of this.
Can I try and stop the bleeding?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. What I'll do this, and then that way you can see who's speaking.
No, I can't. I don't fumble, but I don't have enough luck to spend.
This is a bit of a bad wound, old boy. It bloody hurts, if that's what you mean. Fuck. I think my ear's gone too. Although she seemed to think and found it hilarious.
Thing is, maneuvering, that might have been my fault, so I'm sorry about that.
It's better than being shot in the head, though, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I was shot at the head.
It could be worse. One of our friends has got a little bit more serious wound than that.
I know, I was there.
So you got what you got off light, really, didn't you?
Wow. You're
in honor of his memory, I'll try to patch you up as the best that I can, and then I'll buy a bottle of whiskey as soon as we get out of this place.
Oh, that's more like it.
Okay.
All right.
The Canadian isn't as nice as they say they supposedly are, but you're lovely. Very hospitable.
All right.
Can I have some of that whiskey?
As soon as we get out, you can have your bottle too.
You can have some Canadian whiskey. It's much better than that Scottish stuff.
No, it is not.
Oh, I'm sure we could have a long discussion over the finer choice of malts.
Shots have been fired.
Yes. Well, figuratively so far. So, Perry, are you doing the honors and setting up the dynamite and things?
I am, yes. I also want to look at you said it's on an altar. Is the altar?
Yeah.
Is that worth blowing up as well? Do you think?
It's a grand altar. It's a good, again, sort of 20 feet high. So you have to kind of go up these steps to get to it. Very over the top.
I have some thoughts on where to use the dynamite, Perry. Your input here would be appreciated. So I'm thinking we have 2 sticks, right? So we want to destroy.
We have more than that. I was just going to use 2 sticks inside the sarcophagus.
I see. I would like to kill the mother tomb thing, woman, mummy, outside of this place in case we cannot get back. So we need to make sure it is absolutely destroyed. I think we should also have some sticks to destroy the tablet to get in here. And then the rest, I think we should blow this place up.
I mean, the steel, we can break it with shovels and pickaxes.
I see.
I mean, if it is steel, depending on Jason, how big is this steel? we can break it with pickaxes.
The steel. Again, it was still pretty tall. It's just not that deep or wide. Let's see. No.
I mean, even if we break it in 4 or 5 pieces and take one with us, it will never be complete again.
This is true.
Hmm?
Drop it into an ocean somewhere.
Or destroy it in somewhere else and then scatter the ashes all across Egypt.
It doesn't actually say here.
You say across Egypt, I say we drop some on the way to the next place and take another piece to the next place.
Let's say the steel, because it didn't say in there, is you think maybe there's more under the sand, but the amount uncovered was, you think, maybe 40, 50 feet high. The remark about dropping the mummy into the ocean, Gardner said, that's what happened to another mummy. I think they'll get wind of that.
I did not say drop the mummy in the ocean. I said a piece of the steel. But also we can distribute parts too.
But they could just dive down and retrieve if they know where it is.
We set fire to it and scatter the ashes. How much more do you want?
Yeah, we can make it to dust as far as we're concerned.
I was just going to stick 2 sticks of dynamite inside the sarcophagus and close the lid.
That too?
Yeah, what I do believe is that we need, of course, to break, to destroy the mummy and the sarcophagus, maybe the altar too.
We need to set fire to the mummy, but before we do that, I suggest we do this whole thing with the bast thing, because taking action in here could backfire.
Are you heading up to the altar now, Perry?
Yeah, I'll start heading up the steps.
I'd like to cast the Blessing of Bast.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
Well, since you haven't cast it yet, it's going to be a hard power roll to see if you can cast it, first of all.
Okay. No, alas not. It's a stupid thing. I cannot... it's not connecting the way it is meant to.
Well,
Ridiculous.
Perry knows it too, right?
I do, yes. I've not cast it yet, but I could give her...
Well, you tried to cast it, but it didn't work last time.
No, I didn't get a hard power roll, so I'm trying to get under 32. No,
Magic is complicated.
obviously.
Apparently.
You must attune and focus your minds, dears.
I'm too busy preparing the dynamite. That's
Yeah, you're too busy marching up. Yeah, so what I say is when you get to the top, obviously you've got a bit more of a view from where you're at. In terms of like further down in this absolutely huge room, you can see that sort of body of like other appear to water. It's definitely water. You couldn't really see it before. And you can see sort of rippling every few seconds in this sort of big pool of water. Beyond that, it's hard to kind of put your finger on what it is. It's just this sort of... It appears to be like a staircase, you think, but there's lots of kind of billowing red mist around it, or kind of coming out and then disappearing back in, and then almost like its own living, breathing thing.
That's not... The water is separate to that, though, is it?
Yeah, it's kind of further up by another sort of 20, 30 feet. Like, again, this room is absolutely fucking huge.
Hmm.
But it just looking at it from here kind of gives you the chills. But when you get to the actual sarcophagus itself, it is of course there. It's very big, this thing. It definitely wouldn't have been able to be carried at all, especially up this altar. And you can't see any scrape marks either on the stairs. But you assume it belongs to Nitocris. Next to the altar, or rather kind of next to the sarcophagus, but on the altar, you see two rather valuable looking objects. One appears to be a sort of ornate crown, you think, and another one is a necklace.
Oh,
Sorry, what was the first one?
A crown.
crown.
Or a
Before I get,
circlet.
before I get that far, I want
Or
to
a
shout.
circlet.
Or a
Circlet.
circlet, yes.
Yonk that.
Before I get that far, I want to shout down to Pranit and just say, just ask him to keep an eye on the water,
An eye on what?
the pool of water. Keep an eye on the pool of water because it seems to be a bit of motion over there.
Yeah, sure. I take out my rifle and just guard.
And I finding the crown and the necklace, I will call for Françoise to come up and take those because obviously I'm handling dynamite at the same time. I haven't got. And I think
Wait a
she'll take
minute,
me
though.
away with
Wait a
us.
minute, though. Wasn't the circlet guarded in the other mosque that Najar told us about? Or is that another circlet?
Not quite.
There was a circlet being guarded, yeah.
It was a girdle that was being guarded in the mosque. The circlet was the item that he stole, but then Omar Shakti took back.
All right, my bad.
I'll show you then, Françoise. There's a couple of items here you might want to take possession
Gone.
of. Very fetching.
You're muted, babe.
I do not have spare hands, so for now that is exactly what I'll do.
You put them on.
You'll be all the rage in Paris next season.
Okay. As you kind of handle them, I don't know if anything happens if you put them on.
Don't put on jewelry that's just hanging about. It never ends well.
However, you can, interesting you mentioned it earlier, you can give me a science chemistry roll.
Oh,
That
fancy.
is a failure of epic proportions, 98.
Depending on how much you have, that might be a fumble.
Chemistry of 43, so I have no idea.
Yeah, I believe that's a fumble.
Well, it depends
It's
how
under
much you got.
50. 43.
Yeah, but as in, like, what did you actually roll?
98.
98.
It is a fumble then.
Huh? It is pure gold. And enchanted with Celtic myths.
Yep, it is pure gold, and you feel like you need to go away and study this in great detail. And you're busy sort of examining it and all that. What I'll say is, I think maybe you lose your footing on the stairs a bit because you're so engrossed in this pure gold.
Does she fall down the stairs?
You take 3 damage.
I just on instinct, I head over to try and help her up.
Okay.
Oh,
Instinct.
Merci. Thank you very much.
Mademoiselle?
Stupid flipping tools.
Are you going right up to the pool, Pranit? Like you kind of standing next to it, guarding it, sort of thing.
well, I took out my rifle, as I said, and given the fact that my rifle has a range of 80 yards, I'm staying at a safe distance.
Okay.
Given the fact that Gary told me that someone is moving in there.
Even so, you are kind of closer than when you were on the bridge, and this is actually a lot bigger than you realized before, especially because you can see it a bit better with the light. You think this is at least kind of 75 sort of feet across, potentially quite deep as well. You can't see the bottom. But yeah, maybe a spot hidden roll as you're busy
Yeah.
guarding.
All right. That's a 17, so that's an hard pass.
Okay. There's definitely ripples that kind of occur every few seconds, and you think that you can see something quite large underneath, maybe a couple of feet long. You can't quite tell what it is, though. It's kind of almost like a long blob thing, like sort of slug-shaped. With your hard pass as well, what I'll say is that you kind of see that, and you kind of maybe sort of flinch back, like, what the fuck is that? But you see something moving beyond the pool, like something in the darkness. And you see these figures sort of emerge into your near vicinity, just sort of slowly. You first thought they were maybe more cultists. They look like people, but they have heads of animals. One of them is of a crocodile, another one is of an ibis, and another one is of a falcon.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Can you
Make you a sanity roll.
I was wondering if there was a sanity roll or not. Yes, yeah. Can you make any sanity roll, please?
Pass.
A pass. Okay, so you don't lose anything, but even so, you realize that either they're human with fancy costumes on, or even so, whatever they are, they're kind of coming towards you. They're not armed, but they're kind of bearing these rather chiseled fingers.
You said crocodile, ibis, and auk.
And a falcon.
Falcon.
Well, hawk falcon, yeah.
All right. So we are facing Egyptian deities then. Is that what it is come to?
You're not
Killing
really
gods
qualified
in
to make that assumption.
No, that was me player talking, not Pranit.
Okay. Oh, I see. Why don't we go into initiative at this point?
Well, I got my rifle drawn, so that's
You do,
115 for me.
115. Okay. I'm just checking what this what are. Oh wow, that one's really low for some reason. Okay, they're way down there. You're going to have to remind me what your dex amounts are again. Sorry.
Mine is 65.
Yep.
Mine is 70.
Yep. Charles?
40.
40. Okay.
Whatever's happening, it's happening with me last.
Maybe, maybe not. But you're still quite low down the pecking order. Okay. So Perry and Françoise. Might as well do. Oh gosh, there's 4, isn't there? 4 NPCs. I should have written these down beforehand, but never mind. Let's see. Oh, what I'll do, I'll just double check how Winfield is doing. Okay, he's down there. Gardner is there. Okay. Brummel's also down there. Okay. Well, Pranit, you're definitely going first.
Yeah. So I got. How far are they?
They're definitely within range of your rifle.
Excellent. That's what I wanted to know. All right, I'm rolling a d3 because I don't know which one I want to shoot first.
Okay.
That's a 6, so I'm shooting the falcon one.
The falcon. They're kind of low, and you think maybe they're going to try and charge or kind of do a run up towards you, but you definitely get a shot in before they can reach you.
All right. How much do I have on rifles? All right. That's a success. Regular.
Okay. Listen. Do they even have a dodge?
Usually is under the attack rolls.
Yeah, I know, but they've done like a sample table, so
All right.
it's kind of split across slightly annoyingly. There we go. I don't even think they have a dodge.
Then it's just half dex.
Yes, they do.
Excellent.
Well, in any case. Okay, so interestingly, the other two kind of split off and away from the ibis, but you do definitely hit the ibis.
Yeah, we're shooting at the falcon though. Is that the same?
No. The ibis is a bird, but it's with like a really sort of long.
No. I mean, in terms of passing or failing the roll, I declared that I was shooting the falcon.
Yeah, the falcon failed, but the others managed to get around.
All right. So I'm rolling damage.
Yeah.
That is 1d8 and 1d6 plus 3.
Mm-hmm.
That's 14.
Okay. Describe how you take out the falcon.
Well, I was not expecting that. So, of course, when I see them charge, I shit my pants and shoot. Basically, that's what I was trained to do. And apparently, I hit in the stomach this falcon man, whatever it is. And then, all right, I know how to shoot again. Okay.
I see, sir. That's rather impressive.
Indeed. Okay, it is then over to Perry. So you're kind of fitting the dynamite. Are you doing it inside the coffin, you said?
Well, my next thing I was going to do was try and investigate and lift the lid of the sarcophagus, but I want to sort of see what it's made of, see if I can push it off the plinth and down the steps, maybe, because we're talking about taking it outside.
Oh, gosh. Does it even...
The only thing that worries me about that, Phil, is the fact that it's bloody heavy.
They got it in here, so we should be able to get it out.
It's not necessarily a stone one, it could be a wood one.
Yeah.
We've got several people here now. So I can push off the plinth and shove it down the steps.
Saying that, if you can get it over its fulcrum, then yeah, it should roll down.
It's heavy marble. Even just opening it will require a strength roll of sorts.
Okay, so that's what I was looking at. But now I take it I've heard this gunshot go off. You
have indeed heard the gunshot, yeah.
Can I see what Pranit is shooting at from where I am?
Just about. You don't know if it's more cultists that are just like wearing headpieces or something else, but they're definitely humanoid shaped. Two of them have kind of split away from the one that just happens to have gone down, thanks to Pranit. And you think maybe they're going to try and run at him together, like make a beeline for him?
Okay, then I'll stop what I was going to do then and take a shot at one of them.
Okay.
One to me on this side, which might be the ibis one now.
It's a bit of a way away. What's the range? I presume this is your rifle, isn't it? So what's your
110
range?
Yards.
Ooh. Okay, that's still fine. Yeah, that's still fine.
I want one of those.
Okay, so shoot a 60. And that is a 19, which is a hard pass.
Oh, spend some luck.
What do I need to get it down to? 12. So yeah.
Well, maybe that's overkill though.
I can spend luck to get it down to 7 luck to get it down to an extreme.
Which would give it maximum damage.
Yes, it'll be an impale by that point.
Okay, I'll do that then.
You're going to spend 7 luck.
Luck is down to 23.
It is indeed. Okay, so that is an impale. So maximum damage plus your like another roll of your die or dice.
It's 2d6 plus 4.
So that's
16.
automatically
16
16
plus.
plus another 2d6.
4.
Oh,
20
that's not
total.
that's not great, but there you go.
That was underwhelming.
Yeah. In any case, let's see which one you hit. Okay, so you managed to hit the one with the crocodile head. Again, describe how you take this one out.
So as it's just about to pounce towards Pranit, I just level my rifle, shoot it straight into one eye.
Oof. And it goes down. What I'll say actually is, given you're doing it kind of there and it's going to sort of knock it back, I think maybe it's coming round the pool towards Pranit, and you managed to hit it so it actually falls into the pool.
Oh, no.
You kind of see it trying to resurface, but there's a lot of blood, Pranit. You can see kind of seeping out in the water, and then you hear this kind of almost like a roar, but almost a shriek, you think, coming from this crocodile man. And you hear the sound of ripping, like bones kind of cracking and ripping apart underneath the water. Can you give me another sanity roll, please, Pranit?
Oh.
I will have to say, sir, your wonderful rifle shot, sir, is now the second best shot I've seen.
Oh, that's a pass.
Okay, so I'll say you lose one from that. It's pretty blood curdling from where you are, like the detail you can hear. Wow, guys, compared to the two men with rifles on top, you're doing really well. Françoise, it is your go. You're in a heap at the bottom of the stairs with these two items of jewelry.
Okay. But presumably I'm aware of the approaching Egyptian godlike creatures.
You're not
heard
aware
the
exactly what they are, but you can hear shit going on behind the altar, yeah.
The boys will deal with it.
That is what you said last time, and look what happened there.
True. Do we want a new character? Do I like the ones we have?
Françoise breaking the fourth wall.
Right, I'll climb up to the top of the altar and draw my pistol with the crown on and the necklace.
Okay. Okay. You think you hear something from inside the coffin?
Fuck, I'll shoot it.
Well, sarcophagus. You
I'll
shoot
shoot
the
it.
sarcophagus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not open yet.
It's
And it's made of
marble as
marble.
well.
Exactly. I can't get the lid off, but I can shoot it.
Right.
What? I've got limited tools.
It's not impossible. It's close range on marble. It's not impossible it can't go through.
Well, yeah, I'm just thinking about ricocheting and all that jazz.
The marble could shatter. in which case,
It will only ricochet if it doesn't crack it.
Yeah. And what was Françoise's luck again? Oh, yeah.
What?
I mean, that kind of thing would really be a luck roll. So it ricochets.
Oh.
You see this sort of tiny crack appear, but yeah, it kind of goes off. Just instinctively, you feel the need to kind of duck a bit.
What are you doing? You're gonna
Singh
kill
is
someone.
moving inside and trying to kill it.
Oh, just open the lid just a little bit, enough to get these 2 sticks of dynamite in there. And we'll
It's a
finish it.
huge thing of marble.
Let's see. Okay, Van Hooven's next. So I think he would just try and get up for starters and maybe try and make his way back towards the stele. The Falcon is next.
The Falcon is dead. The ibis is left.
Sorry, the ibis. Beg your pardon. The ibis is left. So that one is going to carry on and bound towards you. You do have time to make a dodge roll if you want, or fight back.
Is he coming to me melee? Does he
Yeah,
does
you
he
think
have
it's going to
weapons
try
or
and
swords?
tackle you, maybe try and slash at you with its fingers or peck or something?
I counterattack.
Okay.
That's a brawl, right?
With your gun? Or
I mean, if I can use my rifle as a club,
yeah.
I'd say so.
Yeah.
Is it pure brawl, or you want me to use
Yeah.
my sword skill?
You're kind of doing it more like that, aren't you, rather than like a butting thing. So yeah, okay, I'll let you use your sword if you want.
I don't.
Well,
It's
your
slower.
sword skill. Yeah. I'll let you use this. If you're kind of trying to swipe it like that, then yeah, it's almost kind of like your sword.
I mean, if I have my rifle, I want to kick it in the face, not very sword-like.
Then it would be brawl.
Yeah.
It would be brawl then.
Oh no, that's an hard pass.
Hard pass. Okay, so you just managed to get out of the way of its huge beak that looks really quite sharp, actually, and it kind of comes at you with these claws. But you just managed to weave around it and give it a whap. Roll damage. So again, that's damage bonus plus a d8.
That's an 11.
All right. Okay. Oh my god, seriously. Describe how you take down this one.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jason. I'm so sorry.
It's fine. It's just interesting how it's played out.
How I managed to not do that
You are capable of killing things after all.
now.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can do well, apparently. So well that I managed to kill an important NPC to get us out of here.
Mm-hmm.
But what I do basically is that when this ibis-like figure jumps at me, I'll just hit him with my rifle under his beak, breaking it.
Okay.
I'm not throwing it in the water. No.
Yeah, and
it is staying on the ground.
And interestingly, when you do that, you half expect, okay, this beak is just going to kind of come off like a false beak or anything. But no, it really is attached, and it's a genuine beak. So it kind of cracks and sort of half hangs off like this. Yes, indeed. Okay, so it is Charles and Broadman. So Charles is going to help Van Hoevelen. Broadmoor is actually going to come up to the altar, so she's kind of busy doing that. Let me just double check how Winfield's doing. So Winfield is kind of Françoise, you can kind of see this from here actually. Winfield is starting to turn over and kind of come round where he is just sort of slumped on the floor. You're muted.
I'm going to walk up to him with my gun pointing at him.
Okay.
And as I get right up to him,
he sort of turns round, kind of covering up the massive wound on the back of his head. And he just sort of stares at you.
Unless you want a wound on the front of your head, I suggest you don't move.
I still don't understand why you fight for what you do.
Because I'm not an imbecile. What do you think this Black Pharaoh will do the moment it rises up? You think it will reward you with extra tentacles? Idiot.
That's the point. Our great lord is here to save us all.
No.
I'm sorry. Forgive me. Are you implying that you intend to raise some sort of godlike creature?
That is what they are trying to do. This
That
is why
is-
I stop them.
That is a single part of a very large puzzle, yes.
Yes.
Nito Kreese will be a valuable asset to our brotherhood.
It is not so much like a godlike creature as it is a devil-like creature. These people are the Satanists.
That is what I first thought when I heard about this group of like-minded individuals, but it really isn't. It
And
is.
then he went insane and embraced it, because that is what happens. Buffoon.
At this point, I cut the distance, so I'm right up at him, and I'm going to hit him.
Cool. Yeah, actually, it is your turn anyway. So yeah, feel free. Are you just gonna try and slap him or?
Oh no, he's
Boxer punch.
getting a punch to the face.
By the way, we need him alive.
Oh, make me a luck roll, Charles.
You may have just killed the entire planet, you idiot.
I failed.
What, the luck roll?
Yeah, by 2.
Okay, so you've already kind of prepared the punch and have already going down as you hear Françoise say, "We need him alive." Do you hit him? Is the question.
If I'm bearing down, I can't examine. I'll hold back.
Well, the point is that you've only heard her say that when you'd already started launching your hand.
Guess I'm hitting him then, or I'm at least rolling to hit him.
Yeah, you definitely roll to hit. Yeah.
Have a bonus die because he's prone.
Yep, she's right.
No, this is not what should be worrying you guys at this point. What should be worrying you is I've got 75 in brawl.
Oh dear.
Just a regular
pass.
Okay, you still hit him. So roll your damage.
Just a regular pass. All right. That's a 1d3 plus a 1d4 potentially.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 1d3, 1d4.
For fuck's sake.
4 points.
You knock him unconscious.
There are times when I actually miss Winston.
Is not dead.
I never thought I would ever hear you say something that was both a wonderful compliment and a worrying put down simultaneously.
Pranit, given there's no other creatures in front of you, are you kind of heading back round to where the others are?
Hearing the commotion around Winfield, yes, I do.
Yeah. So you basically come around the altar and you see this posh guy who hits him really quite deceptively hard. Like, he doesn't look like he can hit at all, but he does. And yeah, you see Winfield go unconscious. And bear in mind how well you got him in the back of the head.
Yeah.
That's a little worrying.
Yeah. What the hell is wrong with you? I check on.
Too focused on collecting surnames and not enough on how the hell we get out of here. That was our captive cultist who could do the spell.
To be fair, is not even. He doesn't even know what's going on around here. I want to make sure that Winfield is not outright dead or bleeding from his nose or something like that.
He's merely having a sleep.
When you go up to him, Pranit, you very much think that is not the case. His nose is broken now. You can see that more blood is kind of coming out the back of his head. You might be able to save him, but that will require a first aid roll.
Can I assist?
Yeah, I'm
You
using
can
my.
assist, yes.
All right.
What
So
does that
I'm
do
not.
mechanically?
It
Did
will
I
still
get a
just be a
bonus
bonus
die?
die. Yeah, they don't stack or anything.
So he gets a bonus die.
Yeah.
Do I want to use my bonus die as well? So I
I'm
got
granting
2.
you one by assisting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a bonus die on my own. Do I want to use that? So we got 2 bonus dice.
What's your first aid?
That's 35.
Probably then, yeah.
Yeah, I'm using my bonus die because
Okay.
I really don't want to die here. And I fail.
Okay, so you just can't.
I can choose a 62, an 82, or a 92.
Wow.
Excellent.
Ouch.
Gosh. Okay, so it's not a fumble, but yeah, you can't get him round. Whatever Charles did is obviously kind of got him in a weak part of the head. He might be all right. He's not dead, but he is dying at this point. So he'll be taking con rolls now from time to time. I was just about to do something. You can't. Yeah, you kind of see that Broadmoor's gone up to the sarcophagus where you are, Perry, and she's almost sort of. She's putting a hand over like this, and she's saying something. You don't know what language it's in.
What are you doing?
I am ascertaining how strong her spirit is, thank you.
If you keep talking in the mumbo jumbo, you'll find out how your premonition of me killing you came about.
We'll just stand back at the way. I'm trying to get something done here. I'm trying to push, because obviously they're wider at the top, and I want to push the foot end just so I open it, just a little gap.
Just a crack. Okay.
Yeah. Just about an inch so I can get a couple of sticks of dynamite in.
All right. I'll say that, yeah, eventually you do manage to do it just enough to kind of shove one in. Broadmoor does get the message and backs away. You set the fuse. You kind of all watch with bated breath as it goes up, and there's this sort of dull explosion sound from inside the coffin or sarcophagus, and you can see bits of smoke coming out from the cracks.
Better put another one in to be sure.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, do you do any more?
Okay, can do. I've got more, so yeah, another one.
And then we'll take the lid off to have a look.
Okay. How many sticks of dynamite do you use?
Well, 2 should do it, shouldn't it? I've got
one should do it. It's a confined space. If that lid
Yeah.
isn't even lifting up, the pressure from the explosion alone
Yeah.
would eviscerate it.
I mean, you remember that scene in Sherlock Holmes? We did similar, didn't he, to the sarcophagus in the auction house?
I don't remember that one, but yeah, I mean the pressure from the explosion alone.
Okay, so-
Forgetting the actual explosive.
Okay, so 2 sticks. Okay.
We've
So-
got at least number 2 left over. So
Okay, so being edged on by Françoise, you put in another one. Again,
Stick it in.
light it, off it goes. Same sort of thing.
And
You
then
go to lift the sarcophagus.
we'll all stand around with our guns first, and then a few people will push. But some of us will be there with guns.
Okay.
I'll help push.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, it's heavy, but with all of you, you can do it. I'm not going to make you roll for that.
that's what you get, Charles. As soon as we open it, you can just punch it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
If it
So-
moves, no, I'm not going to say that line. It's going
You're
to sound
kind of-
very, very wrong.
Heave ho or whatever. A couple are standing back, like Broadmoor is standing back a bit, and you kind of hear her muttering to herself, I don't know if it's worked. and you kind of there's a bit of smoke that sort of clears, and as you see the entire interior of the sarcophagus, the mummy is very much still intact. And let's take a break.
All
right.
We may need an axle.
Oh, God.
Hello.
Hello.
Have you figured out what your name is yet, or you're still guessing between the Barringtons and the Smythes?
Oh, we're just all one big happy family now. It's wonderful. Told you, my great-grandfather fought in Waterloo, you know. He was on the side of the French, but that's not the point. He was there.
You appear to still be talking. You realize none of us are listening anymore.
It's nice to know that there's a certain continuity. Yes, that took an age. My laptop was playing real silly buggers and getting really slow, and took ages for it to shut down to restart. I've got malware bites. I'm going to run it through tomorrow. Do a full sweep tomorrow, just in case I grab something.
Hello.
That's worrying when you can actually sound more Scottish than I am.
Oh, I am flattered. Keep it up and you might get out alive.
I was going to say something sort of, kind of comically, one of those kind of badly worded lines when as I was describing why I punched him, but then I realized if I used that line, it would be taken completely out of context, and rightly so. So I kind of stopped myself. There are reasons why I hit him, by the way, to do with my background.
Mm-hmm. I'm well aware. Just a shame that you didn't hit Françoise before you punched him.
Yeah. Didn't hit him that hard, only did 4 damage.
He was on 2. Pranit basically concussed him after death, and Françoise missed again.
You pummeled the gaping wound on the back of his head into the flagstone.
Yep.
But that kind of perverse religious ideology, I reminded me of someone in my past, and I just saw red.
But anyway, possibly more pressing matters at the moment. The mummy is still intact as the smoke clears.
That's impossible.
Pranit, you have a scimitar, do you not?
Yes, I do.
I believe it is about to get some use.
I'm not sure that my scimitar may do something against what dynamite couldn't.
Chop it up.
Set fire to it. Let us set fire to it.
There are these rather sickly yellow flames emitting out of braziers around the room.
Also, I'm sorry. Also, there's of course something lurking into the pond, into the water, that ripped apart one of the man animals that fallen into it.
Well, once we've got it separated and into ashes, some of it can go in there. Let us begin with a fire. It will be good for morale.
Sing some songs around the campfire. Okay, so I'll grab a brazier off the wall.
Okay.
And thrust it into the sarcophagus.
Okay. Almost like its own funeral pyre. as you thrust it, and you kind of sort of see a little bit of a like a spark as the fuel's kind of coming off it, you think it's just not catching alight at all, even with the bandages on. And you kind of try another bit, just nothing.
I see. I didn't think they did fire retardant clothing back then.
Pranit, give me an idea roll.
It is some kind of protective ward.
An idea, all right. Oh, fuck. Okay. That's a pass.
Okay. As Perry's desperately attempting to even catch light to a bit of the bandage, and Françoise talks about there might be a ward or something, your mind casts back to a book you read, Song of the Jinn, which talked about basically summoning fire magically. And you think maybe, looking at it, maybe fire could work, but it would require it to be magical in some way. You think from reading that this is like the perfect example of what it could be used for.
Still, I read it, but there weren't that I found spells in the book.
There were, but you only did like a skim read, so you never managed to learn them.
All right.
Let me just quickly find it again. Tombs.
Because I don't recall that if I'm sorry, I didn't recall if I rolled poorly and I didn't find them, or there weren't at all.
I think you did skim read it. But yeah, just to remind you, so it was about a gym, but it talked about like scorching fire and forbidden law and stuff like that. So you think, yeah, maybe there could be a fire spell of sorts in there to summon like a magical fire. Or maybe even kind of given your, the sword suggestion, it could be that if there is a ward, maybe if a sword had something blessed with it or magically, imbibed it. That might
Well, what's sure is that without magic, we're not able to.
Okay, pass me your scimitar.
All right, I give her my scimitar.
Oh God.
Okay, you stupid cat god. I will give you one more chance to do the decent thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I will try to cast the bast thing.
Yeah, okay. Oh God.
That's a protection spell, though.
Yeah, but talking to Bast or something,
Did you?
So, I was kind of waiting for your prompt. All right. That is a hard pass.
Okay, so you are able to cast the spell. Make me a power roll as you attempt mentally to convince her.
That is a hard pass.
Ooh, 2 in a row.
Okay. Oh God, where's
When it needed to happen, it happened.
Showdown with Bast time.
It was the best time to do it.
Okay. So you alone, you kind of hear this voice up above you, sort of almost kind of swirling around, kind of jumping almost from pillar to pillar, and says, "No, you have one chance to redeem yourself for the damage you did to my daughter."
I am here on this earth for one purpose, that is to end the Black Pharaoh and the nefarious plans it has. This mummy must be destroyed, or this earth will be no more. How hard is it to figure this out? We need the magic effect on this mummy. We cannot destroy it with our mortal weapons. This is the domain of you gods. It is time for you to pull your weight.
Make me persuade roll.
Suddenly realizing why Françoise might be a mademoiselle and not a madame.
You could push,
I'll have to.
but remember, if you fail, then
She'll be really angry with me. Yeah, I know. It's 50-50.
She already
I have to
has.
swipe at 50. Oh, yes, hard pass.
okay. She goes silent for a seemingly tense, long time. And she says, "You humans are incredibly shallow. However, maybe I will take a little look at what damage has been caused here. But first, let us deal with you." And you feel this kind of nice, cool air running through you. And you feel really good. So you gain back, somehow, a d6 of sanity and a d6 of hit points.
Ooh, 4 and 4.
9 and 91.
Mm-hmm.
What's your max sanity again? Is it 97?
Where's my mythos? Hang on.
Or it's more than that.
Oh,
less.
93.
93. Okay. Okay.
Glad to see you come to your senses.
No bullshit.
I did push the roll, so I have to roleplay it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, she doesn't say anything at that. The coldness kind of still continues, though, and you think, okay, this is a bit weird because you're not feeling any better. But then you realize something's actually touching your chest, and you feel that something is being kind of put around your neck, and it's this little necklace or charm of a cat, but in the kind of the Bast stance, where they're sort of sitting, looking all very regal.
Okay. I'll hit the mummy with the scimitar then. Hack its head off.
Okay. You try again and hack away, but it's like this mummy is made of it's the hardest diamond possible. It's just not cutting through at all.
Oh, get done with it.
When you look up, suddenly you realize you can't help but look at the ceiling, or rather the lack of ceiling. There's this weird sort of almost like leaves in the trees kind of swaying, but it's not quite that. And also, why is it up there? And you just can't really place what it is. Can you make me a sanity roll, please, Françoise?
That is a pass, although only just. Glad I got that 4 sanity back because I would have failed.
Yes, indeed. Do you lose anything for that? And the ceiling bit's from the book anyway. No. Yes, you lose 1. Again, you don't hear Bass say anything else to you.
Stubborn cat. Yeah, have your scimitar back. It did not work.
Told you.
Kids just have even more jewelry.
Oh, for the spell, can you lose 4 magic points, please?
Yep.
Perhaps we
Well,
should put sorry.
It is more than obvious now that without magic we are not able to do a thing.
Oh, perhaps we should push the lid back on. It was struggling to get out.
Except for the fact that we may have very well weakened the sarcophagus, making it a lot easier for it to get out.
How about we take it out of the sarcophagus before we try to hack it to pieces?
I have one possibility. You were saying, Pranit, that the person that fell in that water there, you heard crunching and tearing. I wonder what might happen if we throw this mummy in there.
I have already considered it. It is strategically inept. What happens if it does not work? You want to go in afterwards to get the body out?
That's a good point.
You really... I sort of look at her and smile and say, you are just excitingly emasculating, aren't you?
Most fascinating as well. You hear Broadmoor say, you think maybe from the fact you just cast a spell in front of her.
Before you say anything, Françoise, can I have my scimitar back?
Yeah. I had the scimitar back. That's no problem.
I
tried to cast a spell, but unfortunately, Bast and I have an uncomfortable relationship. I shot her daughter.
I mean, that's as pretty uncomfortable as you can get.
At that point, I deliberately take a couple of steps away.
Yeah, you actually notice from where you are, Charles, that Van Hoevelen and Gardner are both kind of carrying Winfield. And Van Hoevelen says, What is going on? Are we getting out of here or what? What if there's more of those animal man things?
All right, well, we'll just have to drag the mummy with us for now and deal with it later.
Wait, why? You're taking it with you?
We cannot leave it here for the cult to use.
What if the police find out? We'll be put in prison for 20 years. You what?
How hard is it not to speak to a policeman?
The police around here are wonderful. They're really nice chaps. If you speak to them nicely enough, they let you away with murder. Maybe not literally, but you know that.
Not when it comes to Egyptian mummies and artifacts and anything under Giza. Nobody knows about this.
Which is why the police will never ask us about it.
Up. We're going to blow the tablet up outside. I mean,
plus if you get outside,
they don't know where it is.
If we get outside, we could try petrol to burn it as well.
One thing we can absolutely do is take the circlet, take the necklace, break the stele if we manage to get out somehow, now that Winfield is bleeding out on the floor. And then, of course, the soul will be bound to this place, but nobody else will be able to enter.
There's possibly another entrance, though, through the pyramid, isn't there?
There may be. We enter there with magic. I have no idea if I'm on planet Earth.
Whereabouts are you standing at the moment? Are you still kind of near the altar area?
We're around the sarcophagus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, there might be another way out. But this is a big room.
But yeah, we need to take... Is the mummy moving at all now, or is it just still now?
The mummy, I never confirmed that the mummy moved or not, but I just said that you could hear noises.
Okay, we just can't destroy it.
But yeah, it's not moving.
It may have just uttered some syllables to bring forth the other creatures.
I say, is that mummy playing possum? Damn fine unsporting behaviour, if I do say so myself.
Well, we could drag it out of here.
We could search Morris's room, see if there's something we can find of use. But at the moment, I think we'll have to take it away with us. We cannot let the cult have it. We cannot get back in here without a cultist.
Perhaps if we can get back to the hotel, Pranit can find that book that he read about the gin spelling.
Absolutely, and then we can destroy it that way.
Yeah, the thing is that we need to find a way out first.
We have a way out with this Winfield if he survives, and in the meantime, let's look around this room. We can't do anything with the mummy just yet, so we leave the sarcophagus off. We'll deal with it in soon. Let us scout this room, see what we can find. There may be more trinkets or knowledge or books.
Another way out.
Or indeed another way out. Never know, we may even find our way to that chute and see what is down there. I suspect that chute leads to the splashy water with the monster.
The chute leads to the splashy water. Oh, that was in the shaft. It's like a cultish water slide. Okay, make me spot hiddens then. If you're searching around the room.
Yes.
I have passed.
Magnifique.
I'm going to spend one luck to pass.
I failed.
Sorry. Are we doing lock rolls?
Yeah. No, spot hidden.
Well, you did want to make
Yeah,
a
no.
genuine.
Not even close.
Okay.
Not even close.
Okay, so for those of you who didn't see them earlier, you find this kind of gaping darkness at the back of the room. Although when you get closer, you realize it is a hole of sorts. But again, there's no light that seems to actually enter it. Even if you put your torch kind of into the hole or even just sort of near it, the light just does not go through it at all. You also see at the other end there is this sort of rather eerie looking stairwell with the red ruby mist coming out. Occasionally you can even hear sort of ghastly shrieking and moaning as well coming from this stairwell. Beyond that, there is a way out of the room, you think. Like there is sort of a tunnel going out. Did anyone get a hard pass or just regulars?
Right, I failed. So
Okay, yeah.
I got nothing.
Okay. There doesn't appear to be anybody else occupying the gibbets, but you can see sort of evidence that other people have been in there, maybe recently, but they're not there anymore.
Well, would appear I've not been the only resident of this establishment.
Perhaps they used to feed whatever's in the pool.
Yeah, that's not going to keep me up at night. Thank you very much for that nightmare.
Oh yeah, of course. You also see like something moving around in the pool.
So let us have a look at this stairwell. It go up or it go down to L?
Well, it certainly goes down. This red ruby smoke almost kind of dances around you a bit.
I start walking down the steps.
Does it smell of anything?
Oh, it smells horrendously bad.
I still start walking down.
Okay.
Might be my friend makes respect you.
I don't know.
Yes, Fugue, Winston died, and Steve, she's grew up in Peru, so it's French Peruvian in accent.
An extra from the water margin. Oh dear. Okay, so you start walking down these stairs, and only a few steps down, the screams start getting louder, and you feel almost like this sort of pain, this kind of inner pain inside you, and it kind of spreads all over. It feels almost like some big hand is trying to crush you. And you take 6 damage.
Okay, I walk back up the steps.
Which is a major wound.
That is definitely L.
It's the best sort of, the closest thing you think it is, yeah. And you feel maybe like one of your arms might be broken or something. You're in a lot of pain.
I do not think we are on Earth. We have found L.
Oh,
That could explain why Bast was useless here.
I don't mean to sound immediately like a sniveling coward, but if you don't mind awfully, I'd like to not go down there.
Now, I am in an extreme amount of pain, so if it is okay with you, what I would like to do is grab the fucking mummy and get out of here.
That sounds like an excellent plan.
I'll take a look at Françoise's arm, see if I can ease the pain in some way.
It's going to be a first aid.
Maybe bandage it up, sling
I'll
it.
take a small moment to say, hiya, Stephen.
Okay, so that is a regular pass.
It's
I'm
fast.
afraid.
Okay, I can't remember what exactly happens if you do it when somebody's conscious. I think you just get 1 back. Let's see.
Yeah, I guess it's just 1 HP back.
No, major wound. Apparently you. Yeah. Okay. So I'll say that. Yeah, you get one hit point back, but you're still going to need sort of medical attention, etc.
Since you're on a roll, Perry, you might try on Winfield.
Yeah, I can try Winfield. I'll have a look at him. 60. Oh, that's a fail.
Even so, even without the fail, when you look at him, his eyes are closed. You think he's maybe gone now for a few minutes or so, but you didn't notice. It just happened nice and quietly.
He's dead.
So you mean we are stuck here because Mr. cannot choose a surname, decided to show he was manly man? And quite frankly, I am in need of serious quantities of morphine.
There is a tunnel of sorts, remember, and there is also this gaping hole with no light. Apart from that and the pool, you weren't able to see any sort of
I think I'll
layout specifically.
avoid jumping into the gaping hole right away. We'll try the tunnel first.
Somebody else could go first. Quite frankly, I think I want to scream.
Are we dragging this mummy with us?
We are.
Right.
Okay, so Perry, you head on out of the room down this sort of small corridor, and you come across like a T-junction, basically.
Okay, I've got my rifle ready as well.
Okay, cool, yeah.
Is there any markings on the walls?
Yes. So the tunnel is quite wide, about 8 feet or so. The first thing that catches your eye is it's kind of a red wall, whether it's sort of the stone or maybe it's been painted but quite faded. And this sort of tunnel carries on in both directions and sort of snakes around. There are these really grotesque sort of scenes and reliefs all over these walls. of various sort of anthropomorphic animal creatures doing really horrendous things.
Which way do you think then? Left or right?
Unless you can interpret whatever is on the wall here, I suggest we just guess.
Okay.
I will allow a navigate roll.
Navigate. Ooh. Ooh, okay, 47. Which is a 29.
Okay. So, given you're under the pyramids and given how massive the room is behind you, was that a hard pass, sorry, actually, or a regular?
That's just a regular.
Regular,
I
okay.
spent a 6 to get it to hard pass.
You think that you're nowhere near Mycerinus, so if you wanted to head that way, it would probably be left. You think you're nearer one of the other two bigger ones, if you are definitely under the pyramids, rather than say somewhere else entirely.
We think there was an entrance, possibly an entrance in Mycerinus anyway, don't we? Because that's the way the sarcophagus got here.
Yeah.
So I say left.
I'm trusting you, Perry.
You fool. Okay,
So are we going left?
Perry turns left.
Perry turns left.
He seems to know what he's doing. I'm going to follow. I'm going to follow the big Canadian because, quite frankly, after the rifle shot I saw him do, I will follow.
I imagine Broadmoor and Gardner are with us.
Yeah. You kind of see Gardner and Van Hoevelen sort of come back the other way with the body, and then they kind of realize, oh wait, he's dead. Sure. Wait, do we need him? I guess not.
Not anymore.
Just leave him there.
You see Van Hoevelen kind of look towards the pool.
Don't even think about it.
He took my ear off.
Don't even think about it.
We don't want to irritate what's in the pool.
Or I'll take the other ear.
All right. Fuck, calm down. God, you definitely got a bit of a dark side. And they just kind of lay him down.
Yes, we march off left.
Okay, you march off left. Okay. And again, this tunnel kind of snakes around. There's various different much more narrow tunnels that aren't they don't have these designs on the walls. They're just sort of plain, that branch off as you go. If you want to go down any of these tunnels, by the way, do say. But again, there's very much definitive this is a much wider tunnel, and it's got loads of designs all over it and stuff.
I think we should follow the main route, I think. Unless
I'm writing with chalk on the wall as we go, in order to track us back in case we get lost.
Okay.
Yes, I believe the standard is either we place a small arrow, or we write something like "We was here."
Okay.
A slash on the wall, yeah?
Or a slash on the wall will work.
What I'll say is then, all of you apart from Perry, who's kind of taking the lead and marching down, whether you're kind of writing, like marking on the wall, or you're maybe kind of lagging behind if you're Françoise with your broken bones and stuff, even though there's like reliefs on the wall, again, there's lots of red, and in sort of there's sort of empty sections every so often. And the more you look at them as you walk down this snaking corridor, the more they kind of look like slightly fleshy. And it's almost like the walls are moving in and out a little bit, like breathing, like bronchial tubes in your lungs. Can you give me sanity rolls, please?
All of us.
Apart from Perry, yeah, because Perry's just kind of putting them down. The others are paying more attention to the walls.
I failed.
Failed.
I passed by a huge margin.
That's my surprise. So, Françoise, you lose 1. The rest of you lose 2.
Oh no.
How are your fifths doing, by the way?
Oh, we are?
Oh, they're fine, aren't they? Of course they're fine, because... Yeah, you got loads left. Sorry, ignore me. However, I will write them down. Okay. Yes. So, you carry on for a good... I suppose you're moving fairly slowly, but a good sort of half an hour. And at one point, Perry, you're worried that you're kind of going completely the wrong direction at one point, but then it kind of snakes around and almost does a sort of 180. Presumably, again, do you keep on carrying on along this tunnel? There are plenty more sort of branching off smaller tunnels.
If there's nothing to indicate any sort of importance on the branching tunnels, I don't see any reason to turn off.
Okay. Okay, so you try as much as you can, all of you, not to really look at the walls too much. There's still plenty of sort of loathsome designs as well, all along these walls. But then eventually you reach the end of this sort of red corridor, and there is just simply a blank wall with a small sort of gizmo at the side.
Is it a lever? Is it a lever or a rope or something you got to pull?
It's like a little hole. You think there's something inside, maybe like a lever or something?
Can I shine the torch in and take a look?
Yep. Yeah, you shine your torch in. Yeah, it is a lever.
Okay, so I'll just turn around, check everyone's there and ready to go, and I'll pull the lever. Okay,
make me a dex roll.
A dex roll.
Something's gonna bite you.
Which is a fail.
Okay, what I'll say is you do manage to pull the lever, but you kind of take your time with it, and you feel this kind of shock almost of almost like electricity just surging through your hand. You.
Hands up, we saw this coming.
And you take 6 damage.
And Perry collapses to the floor.
It's not a major wound, but yes, it does make you fall unconscious.
Yeah.
Saw something bad coming. Maybe not this particular thing.
He is unconscious.
Yeah, as he falls to the floor, you can see smoke rising from his hand.
All right, I'll try to pat his hand if it's smoking to stop the smoking, and then
it's not low. It's just sort of like wisps.
And then slap his face to bring him back to his senses.
Fantastic first aid. Wake up.
I mean, if you're just passed out, I can bring you back quite easily. If you're on the verge of death,
he's not on the verge of death, but mechanical wise, I believe if you still want to bring him round, it would still be a first aid.
All right. Ooh. Ooh. That's an outpass.
In that case, with a massive slap of your hand, you managed to get Perry to come round, and now you have 1 hit point.
Get your shit together.
Oh no, Mummy, another 15 minutes, please.
What happened?
What? Yeah. What happened? Did it open?
Yes, I should probably said that.
Oh.
So you do hear the sound of stone scraping on stone.
Way to bury the headline.
Apologies. It's dark, and it's kind of quite a narrow-looking tunnel. It appears to be sloping upwards.
Oh, I like the sound of that. Oh, just
What?
took me weeks to get back to 6 hit points.
I just cleared a major wound and I've got another one again.
Yeah, at least you haven't got a major wound, Perry. So
All I
in
did was
It can
explore.
always be worse, mate.
in 2 weeks, we'd back to full health, whereas Françoise will need medical attention.
All I did was walk down a set of spooky stairs with a blessing from a god.
Yeah, but you have fallen it, brother.
And some serious bling.
Yeah,
A blessing from a god that hates you and your guts.
I talked around, and then what did she do? Said I'll deal with it, and then doesn't.
It's a cat.
Fucking useless.
Exactly, they are the living epitome of indifference.
Yep.
Okay, so presumably you all traverse up this
Yeah,
tunnel.
yeah,
Sure.
I'll be sort of like push myself along the wall to get out.
Okay, it's funny because I'm kind of turning backwards through the book. But anyway, so you kind of get up. You still got your flashlights, so you do kind of see your way. It's starting to smell a lot more musty now. The lingering kind of smell of decay is going. Very sort of dusty. When you head up, you get to another kind of wall. There is another gizmo, but it appears to not potentially be not booby trapped, but you know what I mean. It doesn't have like a precautionary protection on it.
For children.
Yeah, a child's lock.
I decide, having seen what Perry went through, I decide I'm going to put myself forward for this, and I operate.
Yeah, it's just a lever. It's not like a hole or anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, you do it. Again, another bit of stone slides away, and you find yourself. Actually, it might be worth getting up a map, but you find yourself in a very dusty chamber full of hieroglyphs, and you assume that you're in a pyramid of sorts.
Ooh, this is right. I was about to say something then, and I realised, no, I'm acting on Winston's knowledge.
Nope, that's Winston. If only Winston were here. But
I've
you're
gone-
definitely in a chamber of sorts.
Ooh, this is rather cliche, isn't it?
What I wanted to ask, Jason, is there a lever on the other side of the wall?
No. But you can make me a spot hidden.
Because I don't want other people to find this passage we went through. No, it's a fail.
There's definitely not a lever, so you don't know if it's just like a one-way door or something.
Might
All right.
end up being
How long did it take to open and close?
press in on a
Though?
particular height.
It's sort of like so if you know,
I'm
a few
wondering if we
seconds.
could reset it and then run through.
Well, it's open for now.
Well, yeah,
Well,
we're
you
trying to
can-
figure out how to close it again.
I know, but I mean, are you all kind of stepping into this chamber?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't
Once
know about the
you're,
rest.
once you're all in the chamber, it closes.
All right.
How did it know?
You can see a sort of a wooden ladder at the end of the chamber that leads up to somewhere.
Hang on. We're inside a pyramid, right?
I don't know which one though.
I'm going to use my torch to look around. Is there any gold?
No, there isn't any gold except for there's a bit of gold leaf in the hieroglyphs all over the walls. You can, however, see...
So it means we are likely in an already discovered pyramid. So there will be a way out.
Can see, however, there's a lot of dust on the floor, of course, given how long it's been here. But there is definitely a patch on the floor which is not dusty, just like oblong shaped.
Oh.
Oh, this is the pyramid that the sarcophagus was taken from.
I see.
That's what I was saying. I was about to say that, and then I realised I can't say that because that's Winston.
So that explains how they managed to sneak it past the security.
Yeah, there's probably some sort of combination of hieroglyphs you've got to press in or something to open it.
Well,
Still,
they
there's
opened it
no
from the
scrape
outside.
marks. There's no scrape marks anywhere.
May also have a ward on it. Who knows?
Or it is a one way.
We found a way out, but I do think that somewhere we should find another way in.
And frankly, I am quite concerned about the amount of dust on the floor, because dust is from human skin.
So,
I mean, we're just going out, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So you head up the ladder. You can kind of see a long passage, and when you go down it, it starts to the gradient kind of starts getting steeper. It takes you a while, and you kind of have to use your hands to keep hold of the walls. Although there does appear to be aids to help, like ropes and things. When you get out, you kind of feel the cool air of outside as you kind of step out, and suddenly you hear the sound of somebody next to you who appears to have you've made them jump, and you see it's this poor, like maybe a tourist guide who you think maybe has fallen asleep next to the pyramid, and they're really frightened that you've just come out of this pyramid, and they kind of do a sign up to Allah and actually run away.
Thank you for the tour.
When you get out, it's definitely nighttime by now. The moon is very much high in the sky.
We should get away from here as fast as humanly possible, given the fact that we got a mummy with us. Where the fuck are we going to hide the mummy?
In the back of the car.
With Winston. Because Winston is in there.
We've got that fan, haven't we?
We have the pickup truck.
Yes, you do, and
just as a player, poor innocent Winston is going to spend his post-death locked in a car with a mummy.
Oh, you're in a different car, you idiot.
No, you are in the trunk of the car we came here with.
Yeah, you're in the boot of the car. It's very dignified.
And you're
With a little bit of imagination, it looks like a coffin.
It's
going padded interns.
Yeah, you stick that mummy in there with me. It's going to look like strange sort of necrophilia.
Collecting bodies.
wow,
The world's most morbid fucking scavenger hunt. We have to find one archaeologist and one mummy to bring back to the hotel. See who can get them first.
So as you start carrying the mummy out, like onto the more kind of sandy ground, the three of you realize you're in quite a familiar place. you can see the Mycerinus temple further down from where you are, and the two larger pyramids sort of in the distance round to your left. The cars are there still. However, as you kind of head down the plateau, you see something large circling around up in the air.
Oh, shit, not one of these again. God damn it. Blast, do your bloody thing already. Seriously.
I'm not much of an ornithologist, but I've got a feeling you don't really see birds like that.
If you weren't about to die, I would bring you up to speed.
And as it starts circling round and you think maybe it's going to dive on you, let's end it there for today.
All right.
Charles is doing a freeze frame.
Short session next week then.
Charles's look of utter horror. As the thought goes through his mind, I thought these guys were rescuing me.
We thought too.
All of them for Perry and Françoise next week then, so we're on one point or something.
Oh. Yeah, I think Françoise' time is limited because I made the mistake of using stairs as stairs.
I'll teach you.
Apparently.
See. If you start hungering for bling, it's just downhill from there.
I don't particularly care about the other bits of bling or any of them that I've just picked up, to be honest with you. Kind of annoyed with Bast. I mean, seriously, what's the problem?
The cat.
She probably went to sleep, forgot all about it.
Yeah. Go, because I shot a daughter.
I don't know.
It's
very petty.
I know. What a bitter thing.
Well, I hope you liked that.
Of course we did. Well, at least I did.
Yeah.
So it's... Is it...
So Steve, you can be back on Thursday.
Is it Phil next week to do a recap?
Could be, yeah.
Yeah, sounds about right.
I know it's not me because I did it last week just in time to die.
Yeah, I think I'll have to pay attention next week so that I can do the recap the week after.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what it is? In case I miss something, I always rewatch the previous session just before we go live when I do my recap.
That's what I did at dinner.
Yeah.
I was rewatching the episode.
That way I've got it fresh when I do the recap.
A nice wee non-weird session. I have heard things about your games, Steve, so maybe you're actually being genuine. I don't know.
Stephen is a wonderfully kind. He's such a kind and gentle and forgiving, decent, non-confrontational GM you've never met, and I just can't keep a straight face with that. I'm sorry.
I was going to say your character's in a pretty dodgy situation next session, is it?
I can't.
We'll see about next session and what happens to Charles.
Yeah, we'll see next session.
Sanity.
See, I was bigging you up, Stephen.
Yeah, Charles has quite low sanity.
Yeah, he
He's
does.
already lost a couple.
How much do you have?
Let's just say I started with 25.
Oh, he's not doing too
I
bad.
beg your pardon. 25.
I started with 25.
Oh, for fuck's
And I've
sake.
lost 2 already. Charles could be a very
So
good
it's
character.
even closer to the indefinite insanity.
Yep.
I mean, Charles didn't do too badly. He was in the game 5 minutes and killed somebody.
And actually, I'm very pleased with the character I've got. He doesn't have that many skills, but he's got a couple that are really, really good. Unfortunately, one of them is brawl.
Yeah, we got that. Good night for Juke.
Night for Duke.
See you
Yeah,
Thursday.
good night.
Right.
Yeah, safe, Duke.
Right, well, I think we should cut it there. I'll double check sort of sanity loss, but apart from Charles, the rest of you should be fine for indefinites. And we will see you next week.
See you
For
next
sure.
week.
Bye.
See you.